It began at the village of Imkeri on the 25th of July.
구두발로 그냥 구두 신었죠.
American soldiers broke into our house with rifles and bayonets. They didn't even take off their boots.
훑어보는 거예요. 그 구두를 신은 그
They searched inside the house with a torch, found us and ordered us out.
그래서 우리가 이제 겁이 나니까
I was young and scared. I hid behind my mother and father, clinging to them.
나와 있으니까
My father said the Americans had come to evacuate us and we should pack up and leave our home.
우리를 피난을 시켜준다고 나오라 한다.
미군이 여기 와가지고 이제
The Americans forced us out of our village.
끌어내는데 우리
We didn't know anything, so we just followed them, because they said they'd take us to safety.
하니까 따라갔다가
Forced to evacuate their village, the Korean refugees soon came face to face with the frightened, inexperienced soldiers of the 7th Cavalry.
A lot of refugees came down the road in a group. It was 50, 60, 70 people. So I ran up the road there by the railroad tracks to Captain Johnson and told him. He said, go down, take the machine gun, shoot those people, and we'll pull out. I said, we can't kill all these people. And he pulled out his handgun, a .45, and pointed it at my head, and he said, I said, kill them. Said, you're disobeying a direct order in combat. He says, I will kill you myself. He said, go back there and kill those people. I said, yes, sir. I turned and I'm running. And I'm thinking all the time in my head, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I got back down there and I told my friend what I was ordered and what had happened. And he fired around down amongst them somewhere. I think he did shoot someone, one person. And after he seen we were serious, they began getting off the road pretty fast. And to this day, I've thought, did I do the right thing or the wrong thing?
Later the next morning, US troops forced the refugee column, now several hundred strong, onto the railway line overlooked by the 7th Cavalry's main positions. There they were stopped and searched around midday.
제일 선두에 있었습니다. 제일 선두에 있었는데
I was at the head of a long line of people. I could see the American soldiers standing with rifles, trying to keep us on the tracks.
거기서
They seemed to make sure that we couldn't move at all.
갖다 놓고 있었어요. 한 2시간 정도.
The US troops then withdrew, leaving the refugees alone on the railway line.
오후 1시 넘어서
Just after 1 o'clock, I could see a reconnaissance plane circling above us.
이렇게 선회를 하더라고. 이렇게 선회를 하는데 이제 뭐
Then the Americans seemed to talk to each other on the radio.
자기들이 이제 무전으로 연락을 하더니
잠자리 비행기는 똑바로
Then we heard the shrieking sounds of planes overhead.
누워서 와요.
Terrifying noise.
찌기꿈 비행기 소리가
피란민
And then they dropped bombs on the contained group of people.
폭격을 했습니다.
그 피란민 속에 꽝 하고
Suddenly, a huge explosion erupted.
터졌는데
엄마 품에서 나와가지고 우리 엄마 등에 내가
I crawled out from under my mother and climbed on top of her. I shouted, "Mum, Mum!"
소리가 없어. 그래서
But she was dead.
엄마 하면서 애들이 이제 등에 이렇게 뭐 엄마를 만지기는
When I stroked her head with my hand, I found my hand sliding inside. I didn't know what hit my mother, but the back of her head was blown off.
그때만 이제 어렸으니까 깜짝 놀래가지고
그랬는데 이만한 불덩이가 와가지고 내 마음에 이만.
All of a sudden, the huge fireball slammed into my face. It was such a terrible shock.
이게 탁세리서 이렇게.
I looked down and I could see my eyeball hanging from a thread.
나무줄만큼.
I never knew it could be so big.
그래 탁시 있는데 보니까
It was as big as my fist, dangling from my face.
이게 커. 눈이 이만해. 이만한.
The bullets from the planes were still raining down, but I couldn't take cover because of my eye, dangling in the air.
그냥 총알이 비오듯 하는데 엎드리들 못해. 이것이 걸고치서 못 걸고치서.
I begged, "Please, Mum, pull off my eye so I can crawl under you." She couldn't reach me. She was so badly injured. So she told me to do it myself, and I tried. But for the life of me, I could not pull it off. All the people around me were dead. So again I turned back to my mother for help. "Mum, please pluck my eyeball out." She said, "No, I cannot. But I want to crawl under you, Mum, but I can't because of my eye."
이슬 속 눈물의 이슬과 하늘하늘 겨울 흔적우리 웃고는 나무길을 가슴 속에 바라기로 날이 겨울로 조물주에 슬픔도 아픔도 넘어가네 하늘 날아올라 강물도 바다도 건너가네 꽃잎처럼 날아올라 내 고향 품으로 날아가네 강물 건너 바다 건너 17 그날로 돌아가네 제잘 동무동무 춤추며 부르던 노래 도란도란 언니 무릎에 누워 듣던 얘기 꿈길일까 꿈속의 봄날의 꿈길일까 이슬일까 눈물일까 이슬 속 눈물의 이슬일까
But I couldn't take cover because of my eye.
Advanced Headquarters, 5th Air Force, 25 July 1950. The Army has requested that we strafe all civilian parties that are approaching our positions. To date, we have complied with the Army request. Eighth Army Headquarters, secret, 3 January 1951. You have complete authority in your zone to stop all civilian traffic. Responsibility to place fire on them, to include bombing, rests with you. Headquarters 25th Infantry Division, 26 July 1950. General Keane directed that all civilians moving around in the combat zone will be considered as unfriendly and shot.
Kids, there was kids out there, it didn't matter what it was. 880, blind, crippled, or crazy, they shot them. It just seemed like all Koreans were the enemy.
We were just shooting openly. We didn't aim at somebody. Just pointing our rifles and shooting. And in that 10 minutes that it went on, that was a nightmare in itself. Yeah, the guilt's still with me. I can't get rid of the guilt. I can't find peace of mind. Absolution, it's not there.
I remember seeing this woman on her hands and knees. She was crawling. You could just see the bullets bouncing, tracer bullets bouncing around her. She kept crawling. Finally, I guess, she would just hit, and that was it. And she just stopped, just like that, just like she was hanging on the side of this hill with her fingers.
늘어진 시쯤부터 어디로 가시나요?
young and lovely, hard and strong. For 50,000 years we've danced her praises, prayed our thanks, and we've just begun. Yes, 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 this is my country, young and growing and free and flowing. See the city, yeah.
당장 또 가졌는데 여기는 이 비행기가 한 번 돌고 가면 양쪽에서 또 총질인 게요. 그러는데 뭐가 이만한 돌무니까 와서 여기는 탁 세리요. 탁 세리는데 뭐가 이만해요. 내가 보기에 이만해요. 내가 만져봤어요. 하도 뭐가 이자 한쪽 눈으로 본 게 달려가지고 이만한데 뭐가 이렇게 커가지고서 만져본 게 눈이 이제 빠진 거예요.
정오 무렵 미군은 그렇게 사람들을 쌍굴에 가둔 채 총을 쏘기 시작했다. 여전히 쌍굴에는 많은 여성, 어린이, 노인들이 있었고 그들은 미군의 공격에 힘없이 죽어갔다. 믿을 수 없게도 총격은 3박 4일 70여 시간 동안이나 계속됐다.
When we resist our fate, we suffer. When we accept it, we are happy. We have time in abundance and eternity to repeat our mistakes, but we need only once to correct our mistake. And at last hear the song of enlightenment with which we can break the chain of vengeance forever. In your heart you can hear it now. It's the song your spirit has been singing since the moment of your birth. If the monks were right, and nothing happens without cause, then the gift of suffering is to bring us closer to God, to teach us to be strong when we are weak, to be brave when we are afraid, to be wise in the midst of confusion, and to let go of that which we can no longer hold. Lasting victories are won in the heart, not on this land or that.
꽃이 비가 되어 내리는 날 내가 죽어 꽃이 되는 날 아리랑이 가슴에 흐르지 말라고 내가 죽어 꽃이 되는 날 비가 묻히게 되어 내리는 날 내가 살아 너를 죽이는 날 아련히 가슴에 흐르지 말라고 내가 살아 비가 되는 날
resist our fate, we suffer. When we accept it, we are happy. We have time in abundance and eternity to repeat our mistakes, but we need only once to correct our mistake. And at last hear the song of enlightenment with which we can break the chain of vengeance forever. In your heart you can hear it now. It's the song your spirit has been singing since the moment of your birth. If the monks were right, and nothing happens without cause, then the gift of suffering is to bring us closer to God, to teach us to be strong when we are weak, to be brave when we are afraid, to be wise in the midst of confusion, and to let go of that which we can no longer hold. Lasting victories are won in the heart, not on this land or that.
Det der jo her er overtid. Du likældig bekæder. I det korsi. Be naskai. Katasta. Mehi kloshu. 또한 이걸 쓰다 열심 근데 비야이 다 야이네 다에 아또와 샤사 빌티 비살라다 레야 빌리 달라 티헤시 열심 الكاتين جيجو كليب التي سايكا التيتاني شنو كات السكينة شادست
살아가는 나의 사나 끝도 없는 긴 밤을 살아가는 나의 사나 끝도 없는 긴 밤을 살아가는 나의 사나
Then that the shaking sound of prayers overhead.